if you knew your destiny, how would that change your action today? Like if I told you that, in 5 years from now, you're going to hold this position and this is going to happen to you, or you're going to get married, or, you're going to die. You're going to get a terrible illness in 5 years and you're going to die. How would that change everything? What difference would that make if you knew today what is going to happen, what your destiny is? To change everything, right? It would change everything. Either you'd feel like, I don't want to do anything. It's not worth it. Or you'd say, my God, I need to make everything change, the narrative change. So I recently spoke to my astrologer who told me that my period of Shani is going to start. It's not the Yernat Shani, but it's the other one. I forgot what he said it's called. And he says that you're going to face a lot of frustration because no matter how much hard work you put in, you won't see the results in this time. So for the last 1 week, although for the last 10 years, I've been doing the same thing, putting in a lot of effort and not seeing the results. The fact that he told me that, I'm saying, what's the point of it all? What is the point of what am I going to do for the next year? I might as well watch Netflix movies. So that was my initial reaction. And then I thought to myself that if someone can so accurately predict your destiny, then your action is very clear. Either you do nothing or you try to prove that person wrong. Right? It changes your whole mindset. In any case, we put in a lot more effort not thinking about the fruits of the action, isn't it? What have I been doing for the last few years, even with the Hamsa meditation? Coming week after week after week, putting up my videos, doing what I have to do, sending out a weekly email, doing what I have to do. And I'm not actually sure what result I'm looking for. I'm just doing it because I like to do it. Right? It's the same thing even with my writing. When I discovered the writing, it was such a pleasure to discover the actual process of writing. But the minute I thought about the end result, the destiny, the future, it got me very upset and disappointed and disillusioned, because if you're thinking of that fruit that you're going to get at the end of it, and your mind is all on that, and that fruit, somebody takes that fruit away before you get to it, what happens? You're just terribly disillusioned. You think that as soon as you write a book, it's going to be New York Times bestseller, 1 million copies are going to be sold, everybody is going to buy your book, and when that doesn't happen, you're like, oh my God, why did I write the book? But if you just sit back and think about it, it is the process of doing what you're doing that's actually the enjoyable part. Why is seva so interesting, so rewarding? It's the actual process of doing it. To do something completely unrelated to you, where you're not getting any direct gain, but you're, like even something small that we did, the reading the just reading those funny parts, right? We had so much pleasure, in seeing the way the children's minds work. Now, if you think that I want a name at the end of reading 40 essays as the South Florida's essay reader, how does that help? How does that help you in any way? The problem is we're always looking for fruits, for results. Where is it going to lead us? Where am I going to be? What's going to happen? Yesterday, the Pulitzer Prize was announced. And I always forget the name of the young man who won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction. But it's about the Underground Railroad. So I clicked on it and I went to his website, and it said, broken down, run-of-the-mill carny with a pocket full of dreams was his explanation of that, and he's just won the Pulitzer Prize. Now see his mindset. Okay, a writer who's just frustrated because what he's done has not got the appreciation it deserves. But the universe has the capacity to change it all in a minute, in a second, in a flash. That only depends on the number of lives we have lived to come to this point. Otherwise, do you think that a girl like Malala would have the responsibility and the experience of life in such a short time? How much has that girl seen of life that people that of 70, 80, 90 years don't see? And what does her word achieve? She's from a small place, some Swat Valley, which people don't even know about. Yet look at her. Look at her talking to heads of state, telling people how to run policy. Yesterday she says, I think Donald Trump should go and look at refugee camps. Now that message will be taken to Donald Trump. Look at her destiny and how it's unfolded. But what is it that made her come to that point? It required somebody to come and shoot her in the face for that to happen. Your destiny unfolds in ways you never know. You never know. But a surefire way of getting depressed and miserable and unhappy is trying to examine the fruits of action. Because, like you said, Radha, I find it so sobering when I think of it. We're all bacteria in the nostril of a giant. Whenever things get too much for me, when I catch myself thinking too much about, what are you doing, where are you going, what is the quality of your day, I'm like, arey, what's the big deal? We're just bacteria in the nostril of a giant. It's all a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. Half the time, even if you've gotten a Pulitzer Prize, if I got the Pulitzer Prize, I'd get it and then what? I'll be doing the same thing, right? So somebody told me that that I'm really good, but I'll still be doing this meditation with 4 people or 40 people or 400 people. The same writing that I'm doing, the same cooking, the same laundry, the same phone calls with children, the same driving to Publix. What changes in the present moment? Nothing really changes, right? The action or the effort remains the same. But by focusing so much on destiny, on where are we going and what's happening to us, we actually lose the beauty of this time. You're going to be this age, with this health, with this mindset only now, only right now. Why are you wasting it? And we have taught ourselves this. We have taught ourselves from a very young age to think of our future, right? You educate your children because it has a good future. You go to medicine. Doesn't matter if it takes 40 years for you to finish. You'll have a good future. But 40 years when doing it? What future is left after that, We want everybody to have a good future. But it all boils down to action in the present. And in that, your karma changes on a daily basis. Every single day, you're accumulating new and different types of karma. It all comes back to this moment. So, whenever you catch yourself thinking of the fruits of your actions, you have to quickly bring yourself back. we're all human. We're all human. We're all subject to human conditioning, to the society that we live in, to the norms that are set up, to what is normal, what is accepted, what is not accepted. So it's very difficult to break out of it. And the sad thing, the sadness I feel is that more people are not meditating. There is so much that they can escape their problems like that, because so nicely meditation gives you that ability to catch yourself. I don't know if you all are doing it, but I'm catching myself all the time. All the time. And I'm grateful for that. As soon as I catch myself, I say, wow, this is great. I caught myself before I went into a spiral. I caught myself in time. This is not good. This is the time to lift myself up. Okay, now what can I do? I'm feeling low. I'm feeling despondent. Now what can I do to lift myself? Okay, my book has not yet been made into a movie, but that doesn't change anything. That doesn't change anything. Yes, that is the end goal. That is the end goal. The rest is the process. You have to just focus on the process. How do I get to that point in my life? What do I have to do? Who do I have to contact? How do I keep my attitude? Am I focused on the number of people coming, or am I focused on what I'm trying to do here? You have to examine a lot of things in your life that changes the way you deal with the present. Because you can do the same job thinking, oh my God, what am I doing? And you can do the same job thinking, oh my God, what am I doing? They're two different, it's the same words, but a different attitude. We're all doing God's work. We're all the divine is working through us in different ways, in small ways, in big ways. Sometimes they say that even the Siddhas are the most unimportant people among us. Working with maybe 4 or 5 people. They don't have to be, great leaders and great celebrities and great anything. Sometimes I feel that name and fame and popularity distracts you from the purpose, your main purpose in life. You wonder what it's all about. You look at all I came across another person that someone said does Vipassana meditation and a very good speaker, and I was kind of listening to his podcast and reading about him. And he says such nasty things about Muslims. And I said to myself, someone who's trying to lift people up, they have to spread a message of peace and love, of happiness in this moment. And how can you be happy? How can you have any peace when there's hate? How can you? How can you talk to people and lift them up if you're using abusive language? Another motivational speaker that I had the misfortune of watching. And I'm saying people are paying $7,000 to attend his seminar, 1 week-long seminar. And he's abusing them using such bad words. They're paying to be abused. It's funny, and then that is life-altering for them. What is this world coming to? Okay, but I digress. Because what I really want to say is that in this moment, your moment has to be a complete success, and it can only be a complete success if you are truly happy. And that happiness can only come through seva, and sadhana. These are the only two things that bring you that so close to the supreme intelligence. Those that do seva have it automatically. The others have to do sadhana, breathing, meditation, knowledge. And it is my hope that at least in our community, this is the resource that I am offering. I want people to come, and you all have it in your power to spread the word and make them come. It can change their lives. It can change the lives of their children. We can bring this old spiritual tradition to the younger kids, and then their destinies are made. Life is effortless. Your destiny is beautiful if your life is effortless. What else do you want? What else do you want? You just want to be happy. Whatever you're doing. The sense of abundance, the sense of totality, the sense that everything is happening right now. Then doesn't matter where you're going. You're just focused on this moment. So don't think too much about your destiny. Your destiny brought you here to this moment. It is better to think of your destiny as something that happened in the past, and to think of this moment as destiny creation. You're creating everything. Your will is everything. Your choice is everything. And then everything opens out. It's all yours.